Most of the local pumpkin patches opened over the last week or so. We visited a cute little neighborhood stand with the kids on Saturday. If you want to do a full fall porch display, don't visit though without a plan. We went with interior designer Lauren Oviatt to share how she shops the pumpkin patch.
Hi Studio 5, Lauren here. I am at Pack Farms in Farmington, just a few blocks from my house. This is a place I come every year to find perfect pumpkins for my porch. Today we're gonna walk the farm. I'm gonna show you my formula for creating a beautiful fall porch. It's gonna sound crazy, but I usually buy 15 to 20 pumpkins and sometimes more. But because I have stairs and because my porch is pretty open, I need the size and I need the number of pumpkins to really create a pretty visual down the stairs. What I'm looking for my porch are big impact pumpkins, a little bit of color variety, and some beautiful texture. We're gonna stop for a second. I love the color of this kind of more yellow pumpkin. This would be beautiful because it stands pretty upright. I also love when I can keep the stem because I think it's so pretty. When we talk about color, I like to get at least 2 or 3 pumpkins in a similar color because I think it helps reinforce the color palette. So I'm gonna look for one more pumpkin that's sort of in that brighter orangey yellow color. Let's go a little bit bigger. This one will wash up really nicely. This year I'm not gonna get too many white pumpkins, but I do love the variety that comes in a pumpkin like this. It's a little bit of a lighter variant, and I think the shape is pretty and the visual texture is really great too. It's a little bit like dumpster diving, but it is kind of fun. Every year without fail, I am shopping and really drawn to these Cinderella pumpkins. I love how they have beautiful fall color, a little bit of kind of a red hint to them, with sometimes some yellow and some green below. If you're like my kids, it's not really a visit to the pumpkin patch until you've gone into the pumpkin patch. And look at this pretty green one. Love that too. Okay, I think we're all done. I stuck to my guns, which is kind of the feet at a beautiful place like this. But I shopped in a great variety of size, in the color palette, which is gonna be monochromatic, oranges, yellows, creams, and a little bit of green. I can't wait to show you how it turns out.
You said there's 149 pounds, and then you're just gonna take it straight up to her.
Okay. 149 pounds. Awesome.
Just the weather alone makes me want to get out there and work out with Lauren as she carts off 150 pounds of pumpkin.
It was fun. I was like breaking a sweat in the wrong clothes, but it was really fun.
It was so fun to see your mind at work, and really an exercise like that beautifully displays so many of your beautiful gifts, from interior designer to you dabble in floral design a little bit. It kind of all came together. You didn't bring your kids to the pumpkin patch, I noticed.
Listen, when I need to get my business done, I don't take the kids. When I'm fun mom, then we go in the evening and I can be really cool, you know, whatever.
Yeah, sure, get what you want.
It was down to business, and I got in and I got what I needed and I got out.
It was a decorating job. And I did notice as well, you bypassed the warty pumpkins, like the bumpy, lumpy ones.
Yes, and much to my kids' dismay, the warty pumpkins for me feel Halloween.
Yeah.
And I am not the spooky porch lady, so I like to stick to the cleaner pumpkins. And for me, it has a little bit more longevity through Thanksgiving.
Oh, sure. Those warty pumpkins are fun come Halloween. That's a great point. But if we want them to stretch out on our porch through November, the smoother finish is going to get us there. Can we talk about the results?
Oh, it was so fun. So I've done something this year that I have never done before.
Okay.
Which is I took all my pumpkins and put them to one side of my staircase.
Oh, it's got a side swag.
I know, which I was like, well, we'll try this out. I think my husband was really happy because it was like half the pumpkins, right, that I normally get. So this is about 15, I don't know, 18 pumpkins or something, but I pushed them all to one side, and it was so fun to layer them. And I felt like with my porch pots kind of pushed to one side too, it really had some really high impact without being overkill.
I love the idea of kind of focusing on the impact, right? You don't have to spread pumpkins all over the porch, but angling it to that side. And then any tips in terms of how you layered or stacked? I see some of them kind of on the side. There's some tippage going on. It looks very artful.
Yes, well, thank you. I mean, pumpkins aren't perfect, so I think forget that. So just go in knowing that it's going to be organic and lovely and natural. So don't force it, but I did shop with a theme in mind, and I did like the variety of having kind of the taller, classic round pumpkins with the flatter, more oblong pumpkins because those flatter pumpkins, they stack really well. You can turn them sideways, lean them against other pumpkins. But it was just, it took me about 10, 15 minutes to kind of figure out what I wanted. And I actually did go back to get one more bigger pumpkin because, I couldn't just leave well enough alone. But it was really easy. I would say to anyone, go with a thought in mind, whether you're going to do kind of a gradient monochromatic like I did with the brighter tones, or if you want to go with the trend of like the softer, like the pastel, more muted orange, muted green, and the white. Go with an idea in mind because then you won't be so overwhelmed when you get there.
You're not running around the patch, picking up this one, putting down that one.
Right.
So shop with your theme in mind.
Right.
And as with floral design, did you then put the anchor pieces in first? The big pumpkins go in first, and we fill in them with the little guys?
Yeah, so that's why I went back because I knew that I needed one more in the back.
Yeah.
So as you can see, I started with the larger in the back and then sort of worked my way layering in the front.
Looks so pretty. Yeah. All right, there's a technique at hand too we want to share. It's not just picking up the pumpkins, throwing them on the porch. You treated them essentially.
This is kind of a new thing for me, but boy, when I started searching, there was so much out there on how to treat both carved and uncarved pumpkins.
I had no idea.
To preserve them. So out where I live, we don't have a lot of critters, but there are so many different things that you can do, and we're gonna show you a couple here today.
Okay.
So we've got pumpkins here. These are uncarved, fresh from the patch, and we have a bleach solution. So there's something called a bleach bath, which you can give to your pumpkin. Now, what they want you to do is put about 4 tablespoons of bleach in a bowl of water.
Okay.
Or you can do your whole sink with about 2/3 a cup of bleach. You're supposed to soak them for 20 minutes each.
Whoa.
Now, 20 minutes times 20 pumpkins.
I mean, my laundry's stacking up. Now I'm going to have a pumpkin stack to wash. Okay.
That's a lot of homework. So if that's for you, and maybe that's something that you do if you want to keep your pumpkins inside, to kind of just preserve the life of them. Other things I read were just putting bleach in a spray bottle and going outside and spritzing them every day or every other day to keep critters away.
Okay.
I read about antifungal peppermint oil that you can put in a bottle with Castile soap, and you can spray that too. Peppermint oil is an antifungal, so it'll keep critters away as well, because bugs and spiders don't like the scent of peppermint.
Okay.
The other really hot thing on Instagram, which I've seen over and over, and maybe it's because I've been searching how to treat your pumpkins.
The algorithms are going your direction.
Is Mod Podge.
Oh!
Mod Podge, or like a clear acrylic spray.
To gloss it up?
To gloss it up, but also to seal it. So as with most pumpkins, it's hard to find one without a blemish. And that's what they say is anytime the pumpkin has a little bit of a cut or an opening, that is where the mold and the fungus will begin to spread. So by sealing it before you ever put it out on the porch, it should protect it. And if you get a glossier spray, it kind of gives that glossier finish.
That's pretty shine. Well, and I have been victim of the front porch pumpkin rot, where you hope they're going to last until November, and then first week of November, right after Halloween, I find myself, dumpster tossing some of these pumpkins that were supposed to be my decoration for another month.
Yeah, well, it's the heat, it's the moisture, because sometimes if it rains and then the water sits under the pumpkin, and then it's the freezing. Like if we get an early freeze, then the pumpkin sort of shocks and then doesn't know what to do.
So we're bleach bathing. Are you shine coating? Do you like that look?
No, I wouldn't put that much time into it. The other really interesting thing is I read about putting Vaseline, mixing it with hot sauce and coating your pumpkin that way too, and more when it's carved. Because the hot sauce will deter any pests or critters from coming to eat it.
People are really into this.
And then the Vaseline sort of seals in the moisture once you've carved it.
Yes. Also, I'm impressed that we're sitting here talking about critters with a straight face.
Who knew?
Okay. Well, it looked beautiful, and it really was fun to see your brain at work. It can be overwhelming to go and know which pumpkins to pick and how to assemble. So thank you so much. Lauren's beautiful pumpkin porch serves as inspiration for all of us, and she shares this kind of inspiration all of the time on Instagram. How can we connect?
I'm on Instagram at Lauren Oviatt, and I have a website too, but Instagram's really where I'm kind of sharing my day-to-day of my business and the clients that I help.
So many fun projects going in your direction. Thank you so much.